Hey folks, David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. In this video, we're going to do something slightly different than the norm. We're going to take a look at a stock, Monster Beverage, MNST, and you can see the trend line running across the bottom of the screen at 126.44, and you can see where the low of the day was, and you can see where the stock was trading, 137.46, as I make this video. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain why gap trading works, why it's one of the better day trading strategies and techniques out there, and also the stuff I teach in my course at Lazy Gap Trader can also be applied to other forms of day trading that you may engage in. It can only be helpful information to show you what I'm going to show you now. So just to set things up a little bit, let's go ahead and take a look at the email that went out to subscribers at 9 a.m. this morning, 30 minutes before the market opened. Here are the 4 best possible gap trades that I identified this morning. And it's the same thing that traders who've taken the course would come up with as well. They would come up with the same 4 or 5 potential gap trades that I do each and every morning. So right here, let's just focus in on Monster Beverage for the purposes of this lesson. I say gap lower, support levels are 126.44 and 120.91. Stop and profit target is about 65 to 90 cents. That's a minimum profit target, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now remember that number, 126.44. So here we're focused in on an hourly chart, and you'll notice up here the stock closed yesterday slightly above $140 a share, prior trading day. The stock opened this morning, the opening price was $130.65, pretty good haircut of about $10, and continued lower, making a low, and let me bring this up, making a low of 126.50, missing our buy price by 6 cents. Now I'm going to explain this in a second, but look what happened later. What happened immediately was the stock caught a bounce, immediately rocketed higher, and continues higher, and now we're trading, as I make this video, at 137 and change. That's an $11 bounce off the low. Now, yes, I didn't get, or we didn't get filled on this trade, but the point I want to make, and the reason I wanted to make this video and explain this is, the reason why there's so much success with gap trading is because we're identifying institutional levels. Institutional buy levels, like in this case, or if a stock is gapping higher at the open, an institutional sell level. So when we can identify the same levels that the institutions are using, the hedge funds, the computerized trading, mutual funds, the broker-dealers, the proprietary trading desks, all of the above, when we can identify a level that's the same as they're identifying where they're going to step in and support a stock, like in this case. So we missed it by 6 cents, but what that also tells us is, and more experienced traders can identify this and hop on board, what that tells us when we miss it by a few pennies and the stock begins to catch a bid very rapidly, that means that there's strength in the stock and there's a bid underneath the stock, and that's a sign of relative strength compared to where it was, and most likely higher prices are coming. So even though this trade was missed by a few pennies, the point is that you can see the power of these levels and how we can calculate the institutional buy level, like in this case, where the institutions are likely to step in, support the stock, and the stock will have a price reaction in the other direction. Just drilling down a little bit farther, here's a 5-minute chart, and you can see this price reaction in the other direction, and you can see how the stock took off, started consolidating, and then moved higher even as we speak now. So the whole idea is, where are the institutions going to step in and support a stock? Where are they going to step in and sell a stock? And if you can understand how to come about those numbers, which is exactly what I teach in my course at LazyGapTrader.com, if you have that information, then not only can you trade the gaps like this, but you can use that information for other day trading strategies and other day trading techniques that you want to enter into. Come over to check out the course, LazyGapTrader.com. I'm David Frost. Thanks for tuning in, folks.